Welcome, everyone, to the Civitai.com stream. I'm your host, Ali. I am Civitai's Community Engagement Manager, and we're about to do office hours. Let me know if you can hear me. Please give me a shout in the chat if the mic's sounding good. Awesome. Thank you. Perfect. Cool. So we're about to do office hours. This is your chance to bring me your questions and your concerns about Civitai.com, and I will give you some updates on what we've been doing behind the scenes. Let's just wait a minute or two until everyone trickles in. Yep, we're live on Twitch. If you don't know what Civitai is, we are a platform for the creation and the sharing of AI-generated art and tools to make that art. We're swiftly becoming the Times Square of generative AI as creators flock to Civitai to share their generative AI artworks. We have a huge community in the multiple millions and a 90,000 strong Discord community, discord.gg/Civitai, which is full of great content. So if you're watching on Twitch or any of our other socials, I would encourage you to head over to Discord and check us out. Conversely, if you're watching via the stream on the homepage of Civitai, it's further down the page, please come to Twitch and follow us there. When do we stream? Well, if you're watching on Twitch, you can check out the schedule down below. You can catch me every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and my colleague Tyler has special guest interviews and AI video tutorial content, other cool stuff on his slots, which are every Thursday and Friday. You may have noticed that there is no Monday office hours now. That's a change. As we're all busier, it's become too difficult for me to fit in a Monday stream, so we've changed to a single midweek office hours Civitai update. And firstly, and I say this every week, I think I'm still losing my voice, so apologies. I've been croaking at people all week. There it goes already. Great. Let's get into it then. Site stability first. Last couple of weeks, we have been battling our old nemesis, replication lag. The Civitai service isn't served from one box. We have a number of replicas, and it's imperative that they're all on the same page. Every time that you navigate to a new page on the site or perform a particular site action, there's a good chance that you'll hit a different replica. And if the replicas are all out of sync, then obviously that's a problem. Say you've uploaded a model and you're on step 2 of the wizard. When you move to step 3, you may also be hitting a new replica, which due to the replication lag, might have no knowledge that you're in the middle of uploading a model. We measure the time data is shared between replicas in milliseconds. Ideally, every action that you take on Civitai is replicated to all the other servers in under a second, but due to a number of factors, that's not always the case. Sometimes this lag time climbs into the minutes, and it's sort of exponential from there on. The further the replicas get out of sync, the harder it is for us to get them back on track. And if the situation gets too bad, we have to go into maintenance mode, halt all the traffic, and let them catch up with each other before we can come back. So what are we doing about this? Well, throwing money at it isn't really an option. You've seen the 2024 transparency report. We're working with the resources that we have. We have explored better database servers, more replicas to share the load, but we are at the limits of some of our plans right now. And if we want to expand the replica service, for example, we'd have to double our infrastructure cost, which just isn't feasible. What we can do, though, is tuning the database queries, tuning the database tables. So there is a big initiative going on right now to squeeze as much performance out of our database queries. Even shaving milliseconds off a write query is helpful. Plus, we're reviewing indexing, looking through execution plans, all that good stuff to try and squeeze as much performance out as we possibly can. The less the work the database has to do, the better. As I said before, many times, all of our problems are solvable with money. If we had, $1,000 per hour database servers running Hadoop and MapReduce, then we'd be doing great. But that kind of hardware is definitely out of our league right now, and we don't have the team to manage it either. We do have a lot of technical knowledge and experience on the team, despite what people say about us in the comments and on Reddit, but there are still only 6 developers, including the CEO, Justin. So that is the current big issue, but it's in hand. We're doing our best to take care of that. Got some questions coming in. A few things that I'm seeing you ask about, we'll be talking about later on here. Filter for WAN video LoRa's, yep, absolutely, we'll get that on the list. When's NubiEye getting its own base model category? Very soon, that's also on the list. Yes, how's the creators program doing? Do they love it? No, they don't love it because it doesn't exist anymore. They did like it when it was running, but it does not exist. We'll be talking about the creators program further on in the stream. Okay, bug-wise, let's talk about bugs a little bit. We've had the usual little annoyances crop up, but nothing massively game-breaking. You know, obviously, all bugs are frustrating, but our triage system is getting them taken care of pretty quickly. And to be honest, most of the bugs that people are reporting right now, you know, aren't really related to code-based changes. They're infrastructure issues that we are, you know, on top of that we're tackling. But a few of the big ones that we did tackle recently were Civitai Link stopped working for some people a couple of weeks ago. There's a new version released last week or so, a couple of weeks ago maybe, which should have fixed the problem. Unfortunately, the in-app updater doesn't work for this version, so you'll have to manually uninstall Link and install a new one. Once you've done that and got it all hooked up, it should work. Although I have seen a new bug come in for it, but it's in the list for the devs. We have had a few failures of the age classifier for the LoRa trainer recently. Just so you're aware of how this works, every single dataset that you upload for LoRa training to Civitai is scanned by an age classifier, which looks at the images for children, minors, and if it finds them, it will pause your training run for manual review. When these age classifier GPUs, these workers fail, they fail safe, meaning that every training run they process is paused until a human can review it. Seb, the lead moderator, and I have been reviewing these as soon as it happens, and it hasn't caused any major training holdups yet. Let's see, got a list here. Zero and Scope's talking about LoRa's that suddenly disappear. They show up in search, but show 404 when you click on them. I think it's a cache issue. We've got a developer looking at this right now. They haven't actually gone from the website. It's something to do with our Cloudflare caching, perhaps, or edge caching. There's something definitely up there, but that's been handled. That's in hand for sure. All right, let's talk about new additions to the site. Tour functionality. Basic tour functionality has been added, mostly useful to users who have just joined or have not yet created an account. It will direct you through a number of basic site actions, like how to generate an image, how to remix, how to post an image, that sort of thing. And you can bomb out of it at practically any point, and it won't be shown again unless you call for it. There are a few like call points dotted around the interface to kick it off again. But for you guys, people who are, you know, old hands, all this stuff, it's not going to be too beneficial. Oh, Cabro, yes. In your case, you might want to take the tour for sure. You can pop open the tour from the generator, actually. I didn't clean my generator out before coming on stream. I should have done that. And if we were playing the bingo, somebody probably would have won by now. Let's just have a look. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. All right. We'll talk about this later. Next, Bring Your Own Image, BYOI, was released with true image-to-image support just last week, and it's awesome. There's a lot more coming in that regard, but iteration 1 is out now and it's available. And actually, yeah, that's what I can show you. It was in the generator right there. This one here, for example, has been image-to-imaged from this image. So I just pulled in this image into the image-to-image variations and changed the prompt and got this from it. So really cool stuff. So true image-to-image on the Civitai generator, which is a big deal. Image-to-image with Flux. Yes, it's coming, but it's not quite ready. Our generation dev is working on it now. Right now, the image-to-image variations workflow with Bring Your Own Image is only available for the STXL 1.5 Pony Illustrious bases, but it will be possible with Flux very soon. Cool. Let's see. Speaking of generation features that are coming very soon, we do have some other cool stuff coming imminently. We've got a new workflow, which is a little bit like Magnific, the upscaler, a bit more basic, but it upscales and enhances. There's an enhancement slider that works really well. Along with that, we have a background removal flow based on one of the new background removal technologies that appeared recently. So if you're making stickers or logos or graphics and you need to cut it out from the background, you won't have to do it in Photoshop or on another site. You just throw it into the background removal flow and you'll get transparent PNGs out of the generator for that. Did that launch already? No, that has not launched already. But you will eventually find it in this menu here, the Magic Wand menu, or from the context menu on images. There'll be a background removal flow. Cool stuff. What else have we got in the generator? We have got priority pricing. I think I mentioned this last week. You may have noticed some options at the bottom. It's kind of hidden right now by my nameplate, but it's down here. It's called request priority. There's a little drop down. It splits all requests are now split into 3 priority groups, a standard, a high, and a highest. So everyone's is in standard, the standard bucket by default. And you can choose, nobody's forcing you to use some buzz to put your request into a higher bucket. And if you're a sub, you can, if in a membership, you can put your request into the highest bucket, which has the smallest concurrency. So by using this though, this is very important because a lot of people got upset when we introduced this. By using this feature, nobody using the standard bucket has a slower experience than they would normally. When you push your request into the high or the highest, you're not pushing in front of standard bucket users and lengthening their execution times. You're just moving your request into an entirely different pool of users, a much smaller pool, which is therefore faster. Now, over the past week, a couple of weeks actually, maybe month, we've got our new GPUs up in the data center, over 400 of them now. Inference speeds have been excellent, even without priority pricing. But the priority pricing options definitely do make a difference. On highest, you can cut like 30 or 40 seconds off of your generation because you don't have to wait for a GPU to become available. The highest pool just has a lot lower concurrency. But again, it's entirely optional. Nobody has to use it. And the generation speeds are better than, without priority pricing, are better than they've ever been before on Civitai. I was looking at the generation speeds earlier today because I think I talk about it a bit further on. We're looking at 45 milliseconds between generations, and that is huge. Maybe like 6 months ago, we were looking at 100, 200 milliseconds between a generation. So huge. All right. Another one, this is a kind of an interesting one. Tiered SLAs. I don't think I've spoken about this before. So service level agreements for Civitai support. So as we grow, the number of support tickets that we're receiving has been growing too. In the last 30 days, we received over 5,000 tickets. And that's a problem. So to make sure that we're providing the best possible service from our 2 wonderful support agents, we have instituted a tiered SLA system based upon your Civitai membership tier. And within those, there are obviously prioritizations too. So billing, purchases, that sort of thing take precedence. So if you're a gold member, for example, you can expect faster support than a free tier user. But to be clear, we are still addressing all free user bugs and support inquiries. Nobody's been cut out, but we do have to prioritize because you can see that 5,000 tickets split between 2 agents over the course of 30 days is just unsustainable. And obviously that number is growing over time. Yep, sorry, Jomsy. These guys are doing a fantastic job on the support desk. So big hand for these guys. All right, let's have a look at Quality of life enhancements. I think there's a couple in the generator that we have put in recently. Let me see. Okay, first one is filters. We've now got the ability to filter oldest to newest, which is in the feed and the queue, which is super, super useful. What else have we done here? The contest is another really interesting one. If you pop this open, you can see the current contest. We've added a button to submit an entry directly to the contest collection from the generator. So if I click this button here, it'll start me off and I can just drag my image for the contest directly into the contest here. I think I'll probably build something similar for when we run site contests in the future, because adding images to those contests is definitely a pain point. So if we could do the same, maybe make some sort of a gold icon at the top here when we're running a contest, you can just submit directly to it. That would be great. Let's see. I think that's all the small quality of life generator stuff that we've added recently. We do have another one coming out soon. It might be out while I'm speaking, actually. So if the site falls apart, that's why. But we'll get to that in a second. Just have a quick read of the chat here. It would be cool if we could search in the generator. Absolutely. Yes, that would be fantastic. It would be. Unfortunately, some limitations holding us back there. But that is on the list. We have a big list of, improvements that would be fantastic, but that's a difficult one. All right, let's talk about private generation. Private generation, coming very soon, like very, very soon, is the ability to train a LoRa and then use it on Civitai without ever publishing it, with some caveats and restrictions, obviously. Firstly, it's going to be a member-only feature. You'll need a bronze, silver, or gold tier membership to be able to use a model privately. Each tier will have limits depending on how many private models you want to have at one time, so without deleting one or publishing it. Bronze is 3, silver is 10, and gold is 100 private models. So under the system, every training run that you make, you'll be able to test your epic for 15 days, after which the ability to generate from the epic will be disabled. So you'll have unrestricted access to test every epic of a LoRa training for 15 days. I can show you an example, actually, if I go to my training tab. Okay, these are things I've trained, but not yet published and not yet pushed private. So they're just sitting out, they're hanging out in training. Right now, the way that it works is that these are deleted after 30 days. So we're giving you 15 days to test out each epic. So I've trained one on Dirty Van Art. It didn't come out quite how I was expecting. But for each of these epics, you can click the create button and it will add it. I just added epic 8 and I can generate with it. You can do that unrestricted for 15 days. After 15 days, this create button will disappear and you will have to publish it just like you would any other model. That's not quite true. I said publish. We have to get away from using that terminology. You'll be able to continue and you'll have a choice. You'll be able to either publish the model, yes, or you'll be able to push it into private. Let me show you what that looks like if I just continue this one. Yeah, here's the two options here. So if you remember and you have access to this, you'll have the choice to keep it private, or otherwise you'll just have to publish it publicly. I have some that I can show you. Private models. These models here are private. The reason that you saw them there in published is because I'm a mod and I see everything that's any status, but it does have a lock icon on it, denoting that it is a private model. So there you go. These are my 3 current private models. Once you've pushed a model into private, you can use it as much as you want. There's no requirement to publish it after a certain time. There's no requirement to delete it. it's there as long as you wish. Cool. Now, the thing that's holding this up from being released right now is the safety aspect. We need to have systems in place to ensure that this feature won't be abused and get us all in super big trouble. So the initial plan is that private generation will be PG and PG-13 only. If you do manage to make an image which is a little bit sexier, there is a good chance that it'll be denied and you'll just receive a full refund. You'll be asked to change your prompt a little bit. Now in the future, with the better systems that we're still trying to develop, this will hopefully change. There have even been rumblings from the highest level that if we can get our safety systems to work reliably, no promises of course here, we might open up POI and real person generation. I think it's a bit of a long shot personally. I'm not sure that we'd be able to do that, but it is something that we will be looking into in the future. But yeah, so when this launches, it's most likely going to be PG-13 only, but that will probably change once our safety systems evolve a little bit, because we know the utility of being able to generate sexy stuff privately, of course. Yes, okay, so questions here. I'm just looking. People can only make their models private before publishing. Yes, that's right. So you've trained a model. You have two options. You can publish it where everyone can see it. You can earn buzz from it. You can put it into early access, that sort of thing. Or you can push it to the private tab. If you publish it, you can't make it private. So you can't go backwards. But if you put it to private, then you can publish it at any time. That makes sense? Okay. Yeah, so it's one way. Once it's been published, it's published. You can't set it to private. All right. It's very cool actually. It's let me just click into one of these. Yeah, so you can create, it just looks like a normal model. You can fill out all the sections and make it all pretty. And then when you're ready to, you can hit this button here to publish it. And you actually get two options when you're publishing it. You can either publish it immediately, or you can set it to draft. So if you want to adjust things like early access or usage control, for example, you would set it to draft. So it's like another step before it's actually live. So pretty robust. We've been testing this for a couple of weeks now. And the last part that's missing is just, like I said, the safety of it. Still some work to be done there. Cool. Next, this is what you've all been waiting for. And kind of torn here. I'm a bit scared, to be honest. All right. The evolved creator program and payout system. On the one hand, I am ecstatic that we're now going to be able to open this up to, thousands, 10,000 creators, however many that are eligible. On the other hand, the way that we've had to implement it is, it's not our first choice, but it is the way that we can make it work. I can see the comments already. All right, so the background on this. The TLDR is, Justin has always wanted to help creators turn their models, their model creating passion into something more. And our first step in that direction was monetization through Yellow Buzz, like Buzz Tips. Then the creator compensation program came along, where you earn buzz via uses of your model. And to explore what we could do with this, we did launch the creator program beta. That was a small group of creators at the time, top creators at the time, who were inducted into a kind of a trial system where they could exchange or sell their buzz for a real money payout. This worked, and in conjunction with a payment processor, we built a system for it, and we defined policies for it, and we hoped that we would just be able to open the gates wide and say, hey, you've all been waiting for a piece of this, so let's go. In you come. Unfortunately, it became pretty rapidly clear that scaling what we had just built wouldn't work. It wouldn't be It would not be financially sustainable for the company. And yeah, it would place the company as a whole at risk. So there's two options there. We could abandon it entirely, or we could evolve the system into something that's not quite what we wanted, but is a sustainable model. And what we've come up with, it ties creator earnings directly to platform growth. Now, like I said, what I'm about to show you, it will not be what many of you expect, and it's not our first choice either, but it is what we know will work right now. This is in the final stages of testing, and it will be live by the end of the week. So the deadline, I suppose, is the 28th at 12 p.m. UTC. So that's Friday. All right, let me walk you through it. On your Buzz dashboard, you'll now see it's changed a little. We've removed a whole bunch, and there's this section here called Get Paid. Eligibility for this program. First of all, obviously you can see I'm eligible here. I've got two little green checks. That's fantastic. The creator score. You must have a creator score of at least 40,000 to be eligible. And you'll, for the first time, be able to see what your current creator score is on this dashboard. Right now, I've got a score of 6.5 million. 40,000 isn't that hard to attain. Creator score is a value that we calculate based upon your participation in the community, how users engage with your content, the popularity of your models, and so on. We won't be releasing the exact algorithm, but I have had a look at the database, and over 10,000 creators have a score of at least 40,000. A lot of people have much higher than I do, because I don't really post that many models anymore. So that's the first part. Second, for eligibility, you must have a Civitai membership, bronze, silver, or gold tier. That's actually pretty funny. Please follow and subscribe to get a +2 social credit score. Yeah. That's why we're not releasing the algorithm, because you guys will try and game it. Jomsy's right. He brings up a good point. The social credit score, there's a few of them actually. There's not just one particular score. There's a model score, there's a creator score, there's an aggregate score. Jomsy is right. This score has existed for months and months behind the scenes, and it is also used to drive eligibility for early access. So this isn't a new thing. But it is a great way to weed out bots and trolls and users that are not engaged with the community. All right. Right, that's the eligibility. So let's say you've met the eligibility requirements like I have. You can go ahead and join. I'm going to click the button. There is terms of service. I'll talk about this later on. I need to make some notes because I have not yet seen this. This is new. Let me pull up my notes real quick. TOS changes formatting. You're testing with me. Thanks, guys. All right, I'm accepting and I'm in. This is the interface. Super simple, right? It is split into a number of cards, and we'll walk through them from left to right. It looks complex, but it's really not. So firstly, the compensation pool, this thing here. The compensation pool is a shared earnings pool funded by a portion of Civitai's revenue from the previous month. The size of the pool will fluctuate each month based on our revenue. Obviously, it should grow. If it's getting smaller, then we're in trouble. So this number should grow every month. So February 2025, it was $37,000. Next month, hopefully larger. We'll see. You all follow me so far? Cool. Right now, you can see that we're in the banking phase. There's two phases here. Most of the month, you will be in the banking phase. Each month will be split into two phases. So we've got the banking phase and you've got the extraction phase. The banking phase starts at the beginning of the month and it will last until 3 days before the end of the month. During this time, creators can bank yellow buzz that they've earned. The more buzz that you bank, the larger your potential share of the compensation pool will be. Does that make sense? As more creators come in and bank their buzz, the value of your banked buzz will decrease because the total amount in the bank from all creators is increasing. You still following me? Okay, good. Banking is subject to a cap as well, based on your Civitai membership tier, but we'll cover why in a second. So in essence, what the banking phase is allowing you to secure a share of this compensation pool, but the value of that share isn't finalized until the next phase. Got it? Okay. Basic, oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Here's a comment. Let me show this one. That's actually, there's actually more to it than that, but you are technically right. Like this guy here, astute among you, you have already noticed that in this system, unlike the old system, Buzz does not have a one-to-one dollar amount value. That's the big difference here. So you're pledging your Buzz to secure a share, but it doesn't have a one-to-one dollar value. Okay, next. The extraction phase starts 3 days before the end of the month and ends 1 hour before the month ends. During the extraction phase, and I can actually show you this in a second, I'll flip the phase over so we can see it in real time. During the extraction phase, banking is disabled. You can no longer add new Buzz to the bank, but you can review your share of the compensation pool and you can decide whether it's worth it for you to keep your Buzz in and receive a payout. Or if you don't think it's worth it, you can extract your Buzz from the bank back into your personal Buzz account. As more creators extract their Buzz, the value of the remaining Buzz in the bank will increase, meaning that your share will get larger. All right? Once the extraction phase ends, the final value of the banked Buzz is locked in, and the payouts are determined based on your total Buzz that's in the pool. So the key takeaways here, you're in control. You decide when to bank and when to extract within each phase. You can bank over time throughout the month. Doesn't have to all be at once. And we think this will get really interesting as people try to bank at specific times to maximize their potential share of the pool. Estimated payouts, this one down here, estimated value, this stuff here will fluctuate as the value of the banked Buzz decreases in the banking phase as more people pile their Buzz in. But the value will also increase in the extraction phase as more people kind of get cold feet and they fold and they pull out. Timing will matter. If you miss a phase, you can't retroactively bank or extract, so you'll have to be mindful of deadlines. There will be notifications of phase change, and a countdown timer will appear here 48 hours before the banking phase ends and the phase is due to switch over. Somebody mentions it being top heavy already. Okay, let's talk about that. We've thought about this. Worrying about a clique as well. Okay, so first of all, you'll have to read the terms of service that I just accepted here because collusion is completely forbidden. We're not allowing people to band together to manipulate the Buzz pool. But the next thing addresses what you mentioned about it being top heavy. So banking caps, we do have a large number of kind of whale accounts that have a ton of yellow buzz saved from the past couple of years. So to address that, we are capping the amount that you can bank each month based on your membership tier. So a bronze member can bank 100,000 buzz flat. A silver member can bank 125% of their peak earning month with a maximum cap of 1 million buzz. A gold member, Austin Powers joke, can bank 150% of their peak earning month with no cap. What's the peak earning month? That's the month in which you earned the most buzz in the past. So let's say you're a silver member and your peak earning month was April 2024 and you earned 222,000 buzz. Your cap would be 125% of 222,000, which is 278,000, well below the 1 million buzz cap. If you're a gold member, however, you could bank 150% of the 222,000 peak earning month, which would be 333,000 buzz. But gold has no cap, so they can bank as much as they can earn. Now, over time, as some of the whales and the big accounts reduce the amount of buzz that they have stored, the cap system will perhaps be revised. Next, extraction fees. Excuse me. As I've described, during the extraction phase, if you decide that you don't want to move forward with a payout, you can pull the buzz out of the bank. You can say, right, I'm not going to make enough this month. Too many people have submitted. The portion I'm going to get is kind of diluted. It's watered down. So I'm going to pull out. I'm going to fold and just withdraw all my buzz back. There's a potential that the big earning creators, earning a lot of buzz, they could use this system to manipulate the pool. So to discourage extraction phase manipulation, there will be a fee. So less than 100,000 buzz, no fee. You can just pull your buzz out, not a problem. 100,000 to 1 million buzz, we're going to charge 5% to take it out. 1 million to 5 million buzz, 10% fee, and anything over 5 million is going to be a 15% fee. Now, the fees are applied progressively, so the first 100,000 is free, next 900,000 is 5%, the next 4 million is 10, and anything above 5 million is 15. Everyone's still following that? You cannot partially extract. It's all or nothing. Excuse me. If you want to extract, you have to pull it all out. All right, still following? Good. There'll be a full write-up on this, frequently asked questions, all of that, when we actually go live. So while that process is going on, withdrawals. Once you've been through one cycle of both phases, and there's been a payout, you've earned some cash maybe, it'll be pending settlement. We need 15 days to review the distribution of funds. So at 12 a.m. UTC on the 15th day of each month, your pending settlement funds will become ready to withdraw. And when you've made a minimum of $50, you can get paid via our payment processor. So PayPal, ACH, eCheck, direct deposit, whatever you want. How does that sound? Stunned silence from everyone. I'd like to reiterate, though, using this method, having buzz being used to claim a stake in a pool is literally the best way to do this. We've considered all the alternatives, but in the end, this is the way. I think it'll be fun too. I'm interested to see what kind of strategies that you guys dream up within the terms of service, obviously. I have dreamt up some strategies which would be less than sporting, and those are the ones that are in the terms of service. All right. The bottom line is, though, many of you were hoping some sort of, you give us your buzz and we give you a fixed amount sort of system. I know, I understand that. And that would have been ideal. That's how we had it all built originally, but it just won't work. So this way, what I've just described, anyone who's creating, who's earning, who's contributing to the site has a fair shake at getting at least something out. And we've run the numbers on it. a lot of the big creators, you don't even have to be that big, intermediate, medium-sized guys, big creators, I suppose, they're making, significant amounts of money from this. I'm, the amount of buzz that I have currently, 776,000, is paltry compared to, a good, I don't know, 30 or 40% of the creators. I'm definitely not a 1% creator. So like I said, yeah, aiming to go live midnight UTC on the 28th or before. So let's run through it real quick. Okay, so I've joined. If something doesn't work, just ignore it. It's still in a kind of weird limbo phase. You can see that I'm on the stage site right now. I have to artificially push it through the different stages using API calls, which is not great. But I'm going to put in 25,000 buzz, which it estimates is going to get me $11, right? Bank now. I'm going to throw it in the bank. There we go. I have banked 25,000, total banks 25,000. It will update in real time. You'll be able to see how much everyone is pouring into this, right? It'll show you a current value. And that value will decrease. There's a forecasted value as well. That's just an estimate. We guess every month. Just if you use the estimator tool, did anyone use the tool that we had for estimating how much you'd actually receive? It's an algorithm a bit like that. We're kind of forecasting that maybe 50% of creators will submit, 80% of their buzz. And if that's the case, then my forecasted value is that I'll get $11 out, $12 out here. Right now it's sitting at $25, right? As more people add to the pool, obviously my share will decrease. All right. The banking phase is counting down right now. When it gets within 40 hours of this date, February 25th, this will change to a timer. And plus you will get notifications as well. There'll be a whole bunch of new buzz banking notifications. Now let me switch over using the API to the extraction phase and reload this. Oh, also you'll see it here. You'll see banks and extracts in your transaction log. You can see I've been testing this. You won't be asked to join the creator program again. It'll remember, but because I'm in a kind of a dev situation, it asks me every time. But you can see that the extraction phase is started. Yes. You'll only have to do this once. Okay, now we're in the extraction phase. You can see that I've got some text in here. Not happy with your earnings. You can fold and you can pull it out. And I can just hit this button here. Oh, I've got no extraction fee because 25,000 is under the 100,000 limit. So I can hit this here. Action is not reversible. You cannot bank buzz until the next banking phase. So if you pull out your buzz back to your wallet, can't put it back in until the next banking phase. Yes, I'm sure I want to get out. And there we go. You're back out. And you can't do anything else with this until the banking phase starts up again. There's a bit more information here. It will talk about what your cap is, and it will also tell you what your peak earning month is. So I talked about my peak earning month, April 2024, where I made 222,000. It will tell you in here what your peak earning month is, so you know exactly how much you are able to bank each month. Okay, that makes sense. Let me read some of these. Chrono Night, 1K equals 40 cents. That's not how it works. You cannot equate buzz to a dollar amount. That's kind of been what I've been trying to get at here, is that there's no exchange rate like that anymore. It's all your buzz is buying you a share in the pool, and you're not going to know how much you're going to get until everyone has banked their buzz and you're into the extraction phase, right at the end of the extraction phase, really. The capitalist banker, right? Oh dear. All right. Cool. Just reading these chats. Not as outraged as I thought. It's all good. My own calculation just showed 40 cents for 1,000. Yes, but that's because I was the only person in the pool. That's going to change as more people submit. You'll see it in real time. If I go back to the... I'm going to have to go and do the whole terms of service again. Annoying. So my estimated value here, $4.69. Let's see what it says. Yeah, an estimated value based on the assumption that a portion of all buzz earned by creators will be banked. The amount we receive depends on the total buzz banked by all creators at the end of the month. So it's just exactly like we had in the estimator. So yeah, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. But hopefully, over time, the whole thing will go up, because the compensation pool is, like I said, directly tied to earnings. When we do better, the pool is bigger and you guys make more, right? Community-driven earnings, absolutely. That's what this is. When is it live? Hopefully, it is going live on Friday at or before 12 p.m. UTC. And that's when the banking phase will start. Do you have to do do you have to manually bank each month? You do, yeah. You don't have to bank all at once. You can come in and drop in 10K, drop in another 10K as you receive it. So you have a windfall, you have a great week. You can come in there and put some more into the bank. There's a bunch more Friday releases coming as well. This is just part of it. All right. Cool. But like I said, there's going to be a bunch of educational materials. There's going to be a full write-up on how this works, a guide walking you through it. Yeah, join the Discord. We'll be able to help you out once this goes live if there's any questions or problems. Yeah, the torches and the pitchforks, they haven't materialized. I think, we've got to remember, yes, it's not what we envisioned, but more people are going to be paid out than ever before. People that haven't been earning anything, Obviously, we would love it if we could give everyone hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month. Yes, that would be great. But this way, a lot of people who weren't earning anything before are going to be making something. And I think that's a good change. It's going to start in March. March is going to be the first pool. This number, yeah, to be confirmed. All right. Let's talk about the next thing. This is where the next thing is where the pitchforks actually come out. So checkpoints on the generator. I'll put this up on, after we've done recording, I'll put the VOD up on Twitch so you can go back and watch that last segment and, seethe and be more outraged. All right, checkpoints on the generator. So I talked before about how we've been building up our data center slowly. It's freaking expensive. Now we have over 400 GPUs serving our image gen. I mentioned our image interval is below 50 milliseconds between each image being generated, and we are regularly generating over 2 million images every single 24 hours. Besides being able to scale up our compute, our hardware, we have also introduced a revolutionary new worker code middleware, I suppose, to support the workers. It's about 25% faster than the old way. And furthermore, biggest change is that GPUs are now able to share models, share resources between them, rather than having to download checkpoints and LoRa's from Cloudflare from up in the net. So that's huge, because a lot of the generation time is spent downloading and shuffling resources in and out of VRAM. So our workers themselves, our GPUs, are actually seeding other GPUs, the VRAM of other GPUs. So that's cool. We've already been seeing fantastic results from these. The image generator is faster than it's ever been. And now, soon, we are opening up all checkpoints. It's happening. It's happening. I'm told that we can support it without too much of a hit in generation times. We are opening up all checkpoints. We've got a bunch of boxes sitting ready to go. Each of them has got 6 4090s in them. And yep, it's going to do it. But there's obviously a catch. There's always a catch, right? The cost is significant to do this. I'm going to have more details on that later, but suffice to say, it looks like there will be an additional cost to use checkpoints which aren't already loaded into the GPU network. People are going to they're going to make their checkpoint, they're going to upload it to the site. Nobody's using it. Nobody wants to use it apart from them. We need to find a whole 4090 to load their checkpoint into. It's going to have to incur a little bit of a cost. However, let's talk about featured model slots. So there's going to be a bunch of slots, 100, I don't know for sure. They'll be featured. Any checkpoint that's in these slots will appear on the homepage. It will also appear so it's going to appear down here in the featured models. It's also going to appear in here in the featured. And they'll be discounted. So anything that's featured will be heavily discounted to use because it's already preloaded into a GPU. To get models into these slots, there's going to be an auction, a bid system. It's very cool, actually. I've seen it working just the other day. There are recurring bids. There are collaborative bids. You can choose to gang up with your mates and put in a particular checkpoint, or you can just, donate money to a particular one that you want to see in a slot. So you'll be bidding on next day's usage, next day's slots. But more info on that when it makes its way to the staging environment. It was meant to go out this week. I don't think it will. There's quite a lot of moving pieces behind the scenes there. But exactly, yes. Exactly. So probably next week, early next week. Next is a controversial one, sort of. Cross ecosystem model usage in the generator. So right now, all you guys who use the image generator on site understand the intricacies of SDXL plus Pony or Illustrious plus SDXL or whatever. But increasingly, we're seeing new users joining the site, mixing and matching a bunch of resources and complaining when their outputs are complete dog shit. So to combat that, we're pushing an advanced mode in the generator. Further down the line, we'll be able to use advanced mode for other stuff as well. But right now, advanced mode it's going to appear for everyone as soon as you launch the generator, as soon as the update goes out, I should say. As soon as you pop open the generator, you'll get a box that will say, this is what advanced mode is. Would you like to enable it? That's your chance to enable it. If you don't enable advanced mode, you'll only be able to use resources within the specific base model ecosystem that you have selected. You'll also be able to do it from your account settings if you miss it, and I have zero doubt that fully 60% of users will close the pop-up modal without reading it, and then they'll freak out because they can't, use resources across ecosystems. But the problem is, though, you have to opt in to advanced mode. We can't ask new users, people who've just arrived on the site, they're fumbling around, they're trying to make an anime waifu. We can't ask them to opt out of advanced mode. That's just ass backwards. So please wait for this to pop up. Read the message, look for the option. If you are suddenly unable to see SDXL resources when you've got Illustrious loaded, it's probably because advanced mode is here and you haven't checked it. But up in the top right corner of this page here, there's going to be a little button where you can toggle advanced mode. Or additionally, it's also going to appear in your account settings. There's going to be I think it's called generation settings. There'll be a toggle down here as well. So keep an eye out for that. But like I said, right now, advanced mode is only going to be used to kind of separate resources from base models within their own ecosystem. But in the future, advanced mode could be used to kind of deviate some of the settings that we currently have that are more beginner user friendly in the generator. Advanced mode just allows you to keep messing up. Yeah, I suppose so. Sort of, yeah, I suppose, yes. Why do we need this? Because people ask, so they've loaded Illustrious and they want to use a LoRa from SDXL, or they want to use a LoRa from Pony. And there's no guarantee that those will actually work. So it's allow you to experiment. You can use anything from any ecosystem merged. Okay, not quite. So you can't take something from Flux and combine it with Pony, because we just know that's not going to work and it's going to break our back end. But SDXL, Pony, Illustrious, 1.5, those sorts of things, you'll be able to mix and match. All right. Cool. So that should be out like this afternoon, actually. I was waiting. Oh, do I have an announcement? Is it going? No, it's not going out yet. But I'm hoping it goes out this afternoon before the week's up anyway. Okay. Next week, probably bigger dimensions in the generator. So Illustrious 1.0 and 1.1 are available now. And we still don't support its native, 1500 pixel resolution, but that's changing. Next week, I'm hoping that we have custom aspect ratios in the generator. And it's not just going to be for Illustrious. I'm just going to clarify that. Not just for Illustrious, custom aspect ratios for all models. All right. What else? Valentine's contest ended on the 14th. Results are up on the events page over here. Everyone should have received their rewards, and the winners were just fantastic as usual. Some great stuff in there, so go and check out some of those. Project Odyssey Season 2 also ended a few weeks ago. Yeah. I know that the Project Odyssey guy is still working on payouts to winners there. We've got like maybe half of them done, so that is in hand. Lastly, both Brittany, our operations type person, and Seb, our lead moderator, are on vacation right now until Monday. So my eye twitch is phenomenally bad right now. If you're trying to contact me this week, please make sure that it's super urgent. If you would like a faster response, you might be better submitting a support ticket or coming to the Discord and asking in there. Lastly, community development. We had an extremely difficult time getting our environment into a shape that could be easily run locally by potential volunteer developers. We've containerized it with Docker, but the setup is still pretty funky. It is all documented on the Civitai GitHub, and I'm thinking about doing a stream or a series over the next few weeks, if I can find the time, to show you guys how you can spool up a local Civitai, make some changes, submit a pull request, that sort of thing. If it's something you'd be interested in doing, I'll make an announcement on the Discord if we go ahead with that. There is a guide on the Education Hub over here, education.civitai.com, Civitai Guides, Local Development Guide, that will walk you through everything from how to install GitHub, how to get Docker set up and running, how to run in Visual Studio Code. There's a little bit about everything you need to know, and how to create an admin user, and yeah, all that stuff. If you're interested, obviously, no obligation to volunteer your time, but if you've got some ideas for Civitai, you think things that would be easy that you'd like to introduce or suggest to us, yeah, feel free to submit a pull request. I put the link to this in the chat, and the link to our GitHub. Well, it's probably in here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. The main part of the code base is in GitHub, but there are certain things that you just cannot develop. So unfortunately, for security reasons. So the Buzz system, for example, the Spine system, which includes our orchestrator, the worker code, that sort of thing, you just won't be able to see. These things are, so some of these in here, you won't be able to develop. Our Comfy instance, that sort of thing. But most of the site features you will find in the main repository. Cool. So that's it from me today. I will see you again next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And in the meantime, if you do have questions or concerns, you can reach out to me. Like I said, this week responses might be a bit slower. Or if you're having a site issue, which you might believe might impact more than just yourself, please do create a ticket from the support button down on the bottom right-hand corner of the site. This one down here. Ticket portal, click this link here. Or you can email support@civitai.com. People asking for a link where my link didn't paste to everyone. Awesome, good stuff. It posted to link, please. A guide link. So it posted to YouTube, but it did not post to Twitch. Great. Let me just go back to it here. This one here. Hey, there you go. If you're watching on Twitch, it should have appeared now. Got it? But yeah, Education Hub, lots of good quality content here. And this is where you will find the write-up for the new creator system, the walkthrough on how it all works and what everything does. We're trying to make it as simple as possible. A lot of tool tips here, a lot of reading to do, but it's fairly straightforward, or as straightforward as we can possibly make it. So yeah, we'll make an announcement, we'll have an article, and yeah, I'm excited. I am excited. It's going to be interesting. The first month of this system is going to be super interesting, and we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. And if we do need to make changes based on the first couple of months, we'll make changes. This isn't set in stone. All right, good stuff. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining me. Nobody's got any questions. That's great. That's how I like it. Hope we continue to improve. Yep, absolutely. Question here, does my $5 membership work with the new system or not? No, the grandfathered membership, the $5 supporter tier that we had from days of yore, is no longer supported for, it's still supported. You can still continue to pay and support us $5, but it is not the minimum. The minimum is bronze membership to be able to use this system. How is Civbot doing? He's been all right. Yeah, he's been neglected recently, unfortunately. Yeah, I do need to spend some time with him, but I have not had much time to deal with Civbot, PromptBot, or EduBot recently. But I do need to. Yeah, Civbot is sad. I know, super neglected. Other questions here. How to split my reaction? I'm not quite sure what you were asking there about the buzz. Has Civbot told anyone to delete their account recently? Not that I'm aware of. Haven't had any complaints. Oh, actually, speaking of deleting accounts, I have not seen. Let me go to the settings. We had a whole spate of people deleting their accounts, and Jumpsy's going to have to confirm this. But since we added in the delete account confirmation, I haven't seen anyone delete their account by mistake. I know. I was going to go and click it and just show people, but I even hate to do that. I can't bring myself to do it. That would be a disaster. But yeah, people used to accidentally delete their accounts. We'd get like 2 tickets a week, and no, I haven't seen anyone since we put in some extra steps. So if you click this button, it should take you through. I'm going to click it. I'm going to do it. I'm on stage. No, I might. Let me put it to the real one, and then I'll click it, and I'll show you what happens. Are you ready? Right. When you click delete your account, there you go. Okay, so you get a confirmation. You did get a confirmation before, which is even stranger, but it had a big red yes, I'm sure that you could click. Right now, I put this in place so that you actually have to type delete before the button enabled. And since I did that, nobody has deleted their account. So there we go. Yeah. Oh, no. That was risky. All right. Good show. That's the sort of thing that, local developers, volunteer developers could do. That was like 10 minutes work for me to go and put in something that's been really beneficial for us. So if you've got ideas, quality of life stuff that you think that the site should have, it's lacking, then absolutely try some local dev, submit a PR to us. There's like one, for example, I can think of off the top of my head is the Buzz dashboard. All times are UTC. The rollover. So at 12 o'clock UTC, the rewards, the other ways you can earn Buzz rollover for the day. I know right now because it's on my stream deck that it's 10 past 11 p.m. UTC. But it would be so nice if we had a countdown timer, until the rewards roll over. So little things like that. If you feel like you can add these things, or if you've got ideas, yeah, just fire them in, pull requests, and we'll review them. That'd be awesome. All right, good stuff. Thanks very much, guys. I might do a weekend stream. We'll see how much time I have once we've launched the new creator program stuff, just to see how it's going, just to make sure you guys are all understanding what's happening with it. But I'm in the main site right now, so you'll also notice the deals and coupons have disappeared in the. You maybe not have noticed when I was on stage, deals and coupons have gone, as have. Go away. As have the other ways to spend Buzz. All these links are pretty useless, so these have gone. The way to get showcased to the Apply Now link is going to appear. I think it's going to appear on the main page now. I think it's going to appear like down here or over here beside the featured images and the featured models. But again, that's going to disappear when we have the bid system in place as well. Well, obviously not for featured images, but for featured models. To get a model featured, you're going to have to use the new bid system. All right, weekend drinking stream. I know. Would that count as drinking on the job? I'm sure I can get away with it. All right, maybe. thanks very much. I will speak to you all maybe at the weekend, maybe next Wednesday. But it's been a pleasure, and jump in if you've got any questions. Jump into the Discord. That's the best way to get us if you've got any questions. Thanks so much, guys. I will see you next time.